1 a.m. in a quiet bay off Great Barrier Island. The 34-metre Tokyo-registered Hatsutori Maru, a skipjack tuna boat, fishing for bait. She's on charter to the South Pacific Commission for research. A skipjack tuna is the South Pacific's last underfished species, and the Commission wants to define their numbers and migratory movements. That's why the Hatsutori Maru and her crew of 9 Japanese, 12 Fijians and 3 scientists, 1 Australian, 1 American and 1 French, are in New Zealand waters. They catch skipjack with a pole, line and unbaited hook, but bait still used, thrown along the boat alive to attract the large schools they hope to find in daylight. As in all their fishing, the whole crew's involved in carefully handling the catch of bait into one of the 5 large bait holds. The bait's caught in a long net, after being attracted by a trail of 3 underwater lights. Each light is progressively dimmed until the last one is right by a large net. Then it's a simple matter of enmeshing the shoal and hoisting them gently on board. Bait caught in New Zealand waters is mainly pilchard, anchovy and small mackerel. They'll stay in salt water, which continually circulates at 10,000 gallons an hour until sometime after daybreak. But even then, their departure is dependent on when the crews sight a school of skipjack. As yet, that hasn't happened, but they're looking. Finding schools is largely the responsibility of Captain Matsumoto. He's got 100 years of Japanese experience in pole and line fishing and school sighting to draw on. He's also got a lot of patience. He needs it to constantly scan the horizon. The reward, a school of skipjack boiling on the surface. Whenever they're onto a school, water is sprayed onto the sea along the catching side. Some say it resembles skipjack fodder near the surface. Others, it hides the hull. Whatever, no spray, no tuna. This school's not too cooperative, but the bait thrower's throwing bait, or in tuna terms, he's throwing chumming, and it works. Down at the stern, it's all started happening again, and Australian scientist Charly Always nearly caught on the hop. This isn't a commercial catch and hold operation. It's a scientific research and survey program centred on catching skipjack, measuring and tagging them, then throwing them back. When a catch is on, everyone but the captain and an engineer are involved, which can lead to burnt rice. A percentage of each catch is kept on board and scrutinised at a more leisurely pace. Fish caught in New Zealand waters have an average length of almost half a metre, which senior scientist Frenchman Pierre confirms.
454. Number 5. 490. Number 4. 417. Number 10. 491. 591, sorry.
Number 20. 2.1.
By collecting length and weight relationship data, they can gauge the condition of the school. External data collected, it's time for internal information, reproductive development and stomach contents.
4, 7, 6. Number 7, female.
The tunas are migratory fish, and in different waters the scientists find new information about feeding.
Number 19, male.
The third scientist, American Jimmie Ianelli.
Opposite.
In our waters, skipjack mainly feed on euphausid, a small shrimp which makes up 90% of their stomach content, unless they've taken the chum or bait just prior to hooking. When that happens, the small fish complete a rapid, vicious circle.
Maybe cross it, huh? 1.
Charlie's taking the cycle of the sea a stage further and feeding the live bait with tuna stomach contents, a more sophisticated method of feeding the fishes. Dolphins, but no skipjack, though everyone's looking. The search lasts throughout daylight hours, and since last October, the beginning of the project's second year, they've scoured the Pacific from Guam across to Tahiti, down to New Zealand, and will finish near Indonesia in July. Apart from the frothy white sign of a school, the best indication of skipjack is birds. Brown, fleshy-foot shearwaters and gannets have the same taste in small fish as tuna. So a feathered congregation like this usually means a school, but this school has got so much food about they're not interested in chum, and the crew can't tempt them. Gannets, the Stukas of the Pacific. A good indication of the amount of feed and its closeness to the surface is that the gannets are only plummeting a short distance. Commercial tuna operators have taken the bird principle a stage further and use spotter planes. So does the Hatsutori Maru to find schools to tag. Action stations. The first part of the build-up to a school is netting bait in the hold, one catch that is guaranteed. The Fijians are deck crew and do the bulk of the support work leading up to and during the catch. While this is going on, the captain's slowing the ship down, the scientists rugging on their knapsack tape recorders to record information about each fish tagged, and the chummer's already throwing what chum he's got in his bait tank. The tuna should be tempted by now, so it's time to try them with long fiberglass poles, nylon lines and a specially designed jig made up of shiny metal with a feather covering a non-barbed hook.
cm 5, la 49. 59 cm, la 50. 59 cm, la 51.
When you're under pressure recording vital statistics, you resort to your native tongue. Pierre will transcribe his tape tonight.
La 53. 59, 60 cm, la 54. 66 cm, la 56. 60 cm, la 57. 63 cm, la 58. 57 cm 5, la 59. 58 cm, la 60.
The tag is a thin numbered plastic with a barb-like flap at the top. Push the metal sheath through the flesh, pull it out and the tag's firmly in place. They've got to be back in the sea within 15 seconds or the fish begins to die.
62 cm, la 66, la 37. 52 cm, la 38. 55 cm, la 39. 60 cm, 94.
This skipjack school is in New Zealand waters, but it doesn't belong to us nor any one nation, to Japan, Australia, Fiji or New Caledonia. The Hatsutori Maroos proved that tuna can swim from Fiji to New Zealand in 7 months. It's a South Pacific resource that could be controlled by an agency that'd collect tax and licence fees and redistribute the money to countries where tuna had been caught. By the look of it, New Zealand should get a good share.